students, myself Rajkumar Meena, Assistant Professor in English, posted at BSR Arts College, Alwar. This is the fifth part of animal forms video. In our earlier video, we tried to explain you about the introduction to the author, second, introduction to the animal form, third, main characteristics of the animal form, plot and fourth video deals with the plot and summary of animal form, and the seventh one deals with the major incident which happened at animal form, or in other words we can say that the major episode, game-changing episode which happened in manure form. So in fourth video we discuss about how the rebel began, how Mr. Jones was escaped from manure form, and now the farm is governed by the animals, and two major leaders were occurred at the animal form, named as Snowball and Napoleon. When the leadership began and the hold of animal form were in the hands of animals, they needed a kind of a constitution. As we know, constitution play a vital role to govern any body or any country or any institute. So same here, we find that the animal developed a kind of 7 commandments which were basically developed from the dream of old nature. So 7 commandments were: the pig were regarded clever and wiser animal than other. Among the pig, 2 were more intelligent. They were Snowball and Napoleon, who became natural leader of the animals. The pigs began to learn how to read and write. In 3 months' time, they had learned a lot. After a great deal of thought, they reduced the principle of animalism to 7 commandments. Those commandments were printed in large white letters on the treated wall of the animal farm. They run thus: 7 commandments. First was, whatever goes upon legs is enemy. Second one was, whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wing is a friend. Third one, no animal shall wear clothes. Fourth one, no animal shall sleep in a bed. Fifth commandment, no animal shall drink alcohol. Sixth commandment, no animal shall kill any other animal. Seventh and last commandment was, all animals are equal. These commandments were printed by Snowball. They were neatly written by him and accepted that friend was written friend, and one of the S was the wrong way round. The spelling was corrected all the way through. So these were the basic commandment or constitutional which was developed by the animal for benefit of their governorship. Snowball plans to welfare for the animals. The animal worked hard in order to get the harvest. Harvest was rich beyond their expectation. Boxer, the horse, worked hardest of all. He always said that he would work harder. On Sunday, the animal did no work. After breakfast, they had a sort of a ceremony to celebrate the rebellion. Afterwards, they had a general meeting in the barren land. There they discussed various problems and passed resolution relating to the work to be done. They also decided the program for the next week. The meeting also ended with the singing of the song The Beast of England, The Beast of England. Snowball made the harness room as his headquarters. Here, in the evening, the animals study blacksmithing, carpentering, and craftsmanship. Snowball was also busy in forming animal committees. He formed egg production committees for the hens, clean tails leaf for the cows, the wild comrades re-education committee, the whiter wool movement for the sheep. He also started the reading and writing classes for all animals. These classes were a great success. Almost every animal on the farm became literate in some degree. The two major leaders of animal farm were Snowball and Napoleon. Napoleon did not take any interest in Snowball's committee. He said that the education of young was more important than anything that was done for grown-ups. So, when Jessie and Bluebell gave birth to 9 puppies, he took them away. He brought them up privately after his own desires and idea. The pig decided that they alone would use milks and the apples. Even the windfall apples were used by them. At this, some of the animals raised murmurs of complaints, but they were soon satisfied by telling that pig required better food because they had to do a lot of brain work. If they did not think so much, there was a danger of Mr. Jones recapturing the farm. Another animals could not say anything to this argument, but to complain would have been useless because all the pigs were in full argument on this point. Even Snowball and Napoleon, who seldom agreed on anything, also agreed on it. Squirrel justified the use of milk and apples by pig before other animals. He said they need them because they were brain workers and must keep themselves in good health for general welfare. Another major incident happens at animal farm was Jones once tries to recapture the authority of his farm. After being expelled from his farm, Jones begins to live in at inn called Red Lion in Willington. He began to drink a great deal of wine. He told the story of his misfortunes to his neighbors. They only showed sympathy in his misfortunes but did nothing to help him. Gradually, the news of rebellion spread to other farms. Other animals also learned the song Beast of England. People trembled whenever they heard the song. They flogged animals whom they found singing the song. But with all their efforts, they could not stop the idea of rebellion from spreading. Animals on other farms began to protest violently against the ill treatment by man. Foxwood and Pinchfield were the two neighboring farms of the animal farm. Their owners were Mr. Pillington and Frederick. At first, they laughed at the idea of animals managing a farm, but later they began to feel uneasy whenever they heard the song The Beast of England. The Beast of England is a song treated as an anthem for their animalism. They freed they feared lest their animals should also become rebellious, so they gave some of their men to help Mr. Jones. Early in October, Jones and all his men, with half a dozen others from the Foxwood and Pinchfield, attacked the animal farm. Jones carried a gun while all the others were armed with sticks. On Animal Farm, the animals always expected such a thing. They had been preparing for it. Snowball was in charge of defensive operation. He had planned everything very wisely. He led the animal against man. At first, man had a success, but soon the animal turned tables on them. The animal surrounded them from all sides in cowshed. The cut off their retreatment made unconscious by a blow from Boxer. The men were terrified and took to their heels when they found their way clear. They fled away, leaving the animals victorious. They were chased out of the farm. There was not an animal on the farm who had not taken vengeance on them. After his own fashion, in the battle, Snowball received injuries from shots. Jones' gun. A sheep was also killed. Snowball was not troubled by his wound and said, "War is war." Animals celebrate their victory. The battle was called a Battle of the Cowshed. It was decided to put Jones' gun at the foot of the flagship. It was fired twice a year, once on October 12th, the anniversary of Battle of Cowshed, and once on the Midsummer Day anniversary of the rebellion. They also created two military decorations: Animal Hero First Class and the Animal Hero Second Class. Snowball and Boxer received the former, and the dead sheep received the latter posthumously. Next thing begins in the animal farm was disagreement between Snowball and Napoleon, the two major leaders of animal farm. The pigs managed the farm very well. The rest of the animals also worked hard, but Snowball and Napoleon were always bitterly opposed to each other. The two disagreed at every point where disagreement was possible. Snowball was of an inventive mind and was always scheming and planning things for improvement on the farms and betterment of the animals. Napoleon produced no scheme of his own, but he rather criticized Snowball's schemes. Snowball planned to build a windmill on the farm which would supply it with electric power. But Napoleon was bitterly opposed to that. Snowball presented a rosy picture of possible advantage of the windmill and electricity. He said that the electricity would light and warm the farm and other places. It was also lighten the workload of the animal. Napoleon, on the other hand, said that it was also a nonsense. He added that the need of the moment was to increase production. Snowball was a good orator and impressed the animal better than the Napoleon. But Napoleon was better canvassing and gaining support in between the meeting. Controversy over the windmill divided the animal into two camps. Once in the meeting, Snowball was telling the animals about the advantage of the windmill. It was clear that the animals would support Snowball. Napoleon knew that he could not beat Snowball in eloquence of the speech. So, when he stood to speak, he made simply a sort of a whimper. This was a signal to his 9 dogs, who at once rushed at Snowball. Snowball, perceiving the danger to his life, took to his heel. The dog would have torn him to pieces if he had not fled away. He escaped through a hole in the broken hatch. The Snowball was expelled from the animal form. Here, the change begins at the animal form. Napoleon now became the all-powerful leader of the animal form. He did not have a liberal and democratic ideas like Snowball. He was posed with dictatorial and Marxist ideas. He abolished the general meeting on Sunday. Some of the animals opposed this decision but were soon silenced by growling of the dogs. The animals were even more surprised when the Napoleon heard announce that the windmill was to be built. Squirrel afterward explained the whole situation to the animal. He said that Napoleon's opposition to the windmill was not real but was only a part of his tactics. The animal did not understand the word tactics meant, but Squirrel spoke so persuasively and the dogs growled so threateningly that they accepted the explanation. Squirrel was very good at talking, and others said that he could turn black into white. Hence, animal began to work of the building windmill. The animals began the works of the building the windmill. Throughout the spring and the summer, they worked 60 hours a week. From August onwards, the animal had to work even on Sunday afternoon. Nothing could have been achieved without Boxer. His strength seemed to be equal to that of the rest of the animals and put together. But mere harder labor could not be achieved such. They felt the need of lot of things. They need paraffin oil, nails, strings, iron for horses, shoes, and also tools and machinery for the windmill. For this, Napoleon decided to take help from the outside world. Hence, a trade agreement with the outside world was started by Napoleon. To, to satisfy certain needs of animal form, Napoleon found it is necessary to have a commercial dealing with human beings. He declared that animal form would engage itself in the trade with the outside world. For that, he hired the service of a solicitor named Mr. Wemper. He acted as an intermediary between animal and outside world. To him, the farm sold a part of hay, wheat, and eggs. In exchange, the farm purchased all the things it needed. At first, the animal resented these dealings with man, but Squirrel conceived them that trade agreement was necessity and good in their interest. Hence, we find that the pig had become a chosen people, a privileged class. They lived in comfort and enjoy better life. Their way of living also changed. They began to live in house and slept in beds like human beings. This living like man over and above their trade dealing with them displeased the animal beyond measures. They felt that the action of the pig was against the seven commandments. But again, Squirrel brought them round on the point that nothing was being done against the principle of animalism. He said that there was no ruling against that. The rule was against the use of sheets. The pig had removed the sheet before the sleeping in them. A major incident was happened when the windmill was ruined. One night it was very stormy. The animal also heard the sound of a gun had been fired somewhere near the farm. In the morning, the animal was shocked to find that windmill was reduced to a ruin. It was a great blow to them. They had suffered so much for the sake of the windmill. Napoleon had said it was the work of Snowball, who had turned a traitor. He declared a reward for catching Snowball dead or alive. He then asked the animal to start afresh the work for building the windmill. He encouraged them to carry out their plans to the day. Willy-nilly, the animal started reconstruction of windmill. It was a very severe winter. The animals carried on the best as they could with the rebuilding of windmill. They were always cold and they did not get enough to eat. Only Boxer and Clover still had the heart to carry on the work. Squirrel made an excellent speech on the joy of service and dignity of labor. But the animal found more encouragement in Boxer's never failing cry, I will work harder. On the other hand, human beings, particularly Mr. Pillington and Frederick, were spreading all sorts of lies about animals. They said that animals were dying of starvation and disease. Hence, a Napoleon counterpart propaganda, the food situation on the farm had really been very bad. Potato crops had failed. Napoleon ordered the almost empty bins to be filled with the stand. The opening were covered with the grain meals. Then Mr. Vampire was called to visit the farm. He saw the bins. He was easily deceived. He reported to the outside world that there was no food shortage on Animal Farm. Napoleon observed a strict and complete secrecy in order to divert the attention of the animal from food shortage and cold. Napoleon spread the lies about Snowball. He said that he was hiding on Pinchfield Farm. On other occasion, he would say that Snowball was hiding on Foxwood Farm. Squirrel tried his best to convince the animal that Snowball was a traitor and an agent of Mr. Jones. He was always trying to bring harm to the animal farm. Thus, the animals were always misled by Napoleon and Squirrel. Persecution of animals. Thus, Napoleon was trying to create a public opinion against Snowball. In this, he succeeded to a great extent. Snowball was declared a traitor. He accused a number of animals of being in league with Snowball. Then he called the four pigs who had opposed his decision for abolishing the journal meeting. They were so much tortured that they confused that they were associated with Snowball in destroying the windmill. When they had finished their confession, they were torn into the pieces by the dogs. With this started the wave of prosecution of animals. After the killing of the pigs, 3 hens, a goose, 3 sheep were forced to confess that one fault or the other. They were all slain in manner of the pigs. Thus Napoleon got rid of all of those animals who had opposed him one way or the other. The scene of slaughter shocked all the animals. The killing of one animal by another was strictly prohibited by 7 commandments, but Napoleon had already made amendments in them. The squirrel came to the animal to justify Napoleon's action. He said that rebellion was then completed. The enemy, both external and internal, had been defeated. Then it was decided to replace the Song of the Beast of England, with the song Animal Farm, never through me shall thou came to harm. Hence, we see that now onwards Napoleon became a dictator. As powerful like a dictator, he seldom appeared in public. When he did appeared, a black crookle marched in front of him like a trumpeter. Behind him walked the dogs as his bodyguards. He took his meal alone from the Crown Derby dinner service. A gun was fired every year on his birthday. He came to know as father of all animals, terror of mankind, and like minimize the poet Pick composes a poem on the praises of Napoleon. The poem was written on the wall at the end opposite to the 7 commandments.